they were going to win. So, for the first time in a long time, Fee Collier actually kind of cooked Angel Reese.
Angel Reese stepped onto the court and got a harsh dose of WNBA reality. Just one preseason game in, and the Minnesota Lynx delivered a brutal wake-up call. Her shots missed the mark, the defense was relentless, and in the middle of that chaos, her confidence seemed to vanish. Was it just first game jitters, or was the league sending a loud message? Welcome to the pros, now take your seat. Either way, this debut didn't go as planned. Not for Angel, but for the fans. We couldn't look away, so what really happened out there? Let's break it down.
You know what I love watching? I love watching her highlights of missing shots. She's got to be the worst shooter you've met in your life.
Chicago might not be sounding the alarms just yet, but Angel Reese's fan club sure is. After 2 rocky preseason games that felt more like a high school audition than a rookie WNBA breakout, things aren't looking too royal for the self-proclaimed queen. While Caitlin Clark is out there casually torching defenders and sinking logo threes like she's in shoot-around Angel, she's still trying to make it through a possession without getting whistled or getting out-muscled by Camila Cardoso. And spoiler alert, she's losing both battles right now. Might be time to check if that crown came with a return policy.
For instance, before a game or after a game or during practice for real, you rarely ever hear from Angel Reese. And my question is why? Why don't you like to talk basketball, Angel? Is it because you missed so many layups, you're so bad?
Let's not sugarcoat it. Angel Reese's preseason showing was anything but impressive. She managed just 10 points against the Lynx, hitting only 2 of her 8 shots. Yep, 2 made buckets in 25 minutes. That's 1 basket every 12.5 minutes. Not exactly the stat line of a rising superstar. If this keeps up, they might want to hand out juice boxes and gold stars. Because this isn't the dominance fans were hyped for. And the rebounding, 3 boards total. That's fine if you're a guard, but when you're hyped as the queen of the paint and your own rookie teammate, fresh off the bus, grabs more rebounds than you, that's not just disappointing, that's straight up embarrassing.
We got to talk about Angel Reese missing out on these press conferences all the time. What is this really about? Here's a girl, right, who loves to be in everybody's face, loves to be on front center, right? Always on TikTok, always on Instagram, always on YouTube with her podcast, but never during press conferences before a game or after a game or during practice for real. You rarely ever hear from Angel Reese. And my question is why? Why don't you like to talk basketball, Angel? Is it because you missed so many layups, you're so bad at basketball for real?
Meanwhile, Caitlin Clark's preseason debut looked like she was gunning for a championship, not just getting her feet wet. She hit the floor firing, dropping dimes, splashing threes, and owning the court like she had a mortgage on it. Her squad, the Indiana Fever, lit up the scoreboard with 108 points in a game that ended quicker than Angel Reese could rack up her 4th foul. Clark looked like the floor general she was born to be. Cool, composed, completely in control. While Reese, she was still trying to figure out if she was supposed to set a screen or just hype up her teammates from the wing.
Wait a minute. Correct me if I'm wrong here. I thought Angel Reese was responsible for elevating the WNBA dump. I thought Angel Reese was responsible for taking the dump and turning it into an unmonetizable turd. Now, to her credit, it is a nicely polished turd. It almost looks appealing. Almost. Of course, it's still not appealing enough to generate profit, but I guess the WNBA is taking baby steps. I mean, what's one more year of multi-million-dollar losses? I thought Angel Reese was the star of stars, the icon of icons. That's what the mainstream media keeps telling me. Headline at Forbes from last month. How Angel Reese and Asia Wilson are leading the WNBA's growth.
But here's the real plot twist. Camila Cardoso, yep, the other rookie on the sky, not the one fronting Reebok campaigns or dropping hot takes on every podcast twice a week. Cardoso's just sliding into that power forward spot like she was built for it. Smooth, quiet, and dominant. She put up 13 points, grabbed 9 boards, and brought serious, "Excuse me, Angel? I'll take that energy all game long." Those boards, they used to be Angel's specialty, her thing. But now it's Cardoso doing all the work, grabbing the groceries, cooking the meal, and still taking home leftovers. Meanwhile, Reese, she's just stuck picking up the tab.
Angel Reese is smooth 6'3". And jump like that, grab him, rim, and dunk him. Let's be honest, that's bounce for a girl. That's bounce. Now, some of y'all are probably wondering why I said she could dunk. I mean, obviously, Shorty can't dunk now. We see the game, she barely get off the ground. She get like an inch off the ground. Anyway, the reason for that is she had a big injury in her leg a long time ago. Now she has a metal rod in her leg.
Let's break it down. Caitlin Clark is gliding into the regular season like she's been running this league for years, lighting up scoreboards and making defenders rethink their career choices. Angel Reese, she's still trying to figure out how to shoot 25% from the floor without triggering audible groans from the crowd every time she touches the ball. And just when you thought her preseason couldn't get any rougher, the WNBA decided to kick off the Sky's season with a bang by throwing them straight at Caitlin Clark and the Indiana Fever. Yeah, this Saturday, the matchup everyone's been waiting for, a heavyweight showdown, except one fighter's been sparring with live competition and the other's been shadowboxing and missing. Clark versus Reese was billed as the rivalry of a generation, but right now, it's looking more like a solo act, with Caitlin doing everything except run concessions during timeouts. Meanwhile, Angel is unintentionally putting on a comedy reel, missing easy layups, losing track of her defender, and looking absolutely stunned every time Camila Cardoso snatches another board she clearly thought was hers by default.
You wonder why you have the least amount of fans showing up in attendance at your games. That all has something to do with it. You're not relatable. You're not likable. People only hear from you when you showing half off, your body, or you're showing off what you're wearing, right? Trying to make a fashion statement. You're showing off your new weave. It's so unbelievable. You're showing off your new lashes, right? But you don't talk basketball never.
This isn't just a rough start, it's starting to feel personal. Angel Reese has to be feeling the pressure. Imagine hyping yourself as the future of the league, only to have your own teammates show you what real paint presence looks like. Camila Cardoso is cleaning up down low, grabbing those easy buckets that Reese used to dominate at LSU like she was on an all-you-can-eat layup plan. But this isn't college anymore, and the WNBA doesn't hand out gold stars for showing up. Cardoso's effort, positioning, and efficiency are sending a loud message. You might have the spotlight, but I've got the skill set, and you better believe Angel hears it. She's watching Caitlin Clark become the league's main attraction overnight. She's watching Cardoso become the Sky's go-to force in the paint. And where's Reese? Caught in the middle, not efficient enough to lead the offense, not dominant enough to own the glass, and far too visible to blend in with the bench mob. But hey, it's just preseason, right? Sure. Except the real games are here now. And Angel's stat sheet, it's starting to read less like a breakout rookie season and more like a growing concern.
According to Forbes, Angel Reese is arguably the biggest star in the WNBA because she has more social media followers than everyone else. But like I say all the time, popularity on social media, that does not equate to the main show.
And we haven't even touched on what's coming next. Caitlin Clark pulling up with one-legged fadeaways like she's running a highlight reel, while Angel Reese is already riding the bench with 2 fouls 5 minutes into the game. Saturday has all the makings of a reality check. Caitlin looks ready to put on a master class, while Angel enters with a chip on her shoulder the size of a media circus, and not the confident kind, more like, nothing's going how I planned, so now I'm forcing it. It's almost poetic, really. This rivalry was born on magazine covers and Instagram timelines, but in the WNBA, it comes down to court spacing, defensive rotations, and whether you can actually hit your shots. Caitlin's leap to the pros has looked smooth, like a concert pianist who never misses a note. Angel's, more like someone tripping over the scorer's table while trying to lace up. And let's be real, this isn't about rookie nerves anymore. She's played 2 full games. That's enough tape to know the truth. Dominating undersized college freshmen is a whole different beast than battling grown veteran pros who can pick apart every weakness you've got. And if Reese thought she had time to figure things out, Camila Cardoso just slammed that window shut. Every minute Cardoso outworks her is another minute Angel loses in the rotation. And in the WNBA, that's how storylines flip fast.
Folks, the Chicago Sky Game 1 of the preseason was underway last night. Angel Reese looked pretty good, but we're going to get into that momentarily. On the negative side, Angel Reese fans, LSU fans, all of you who tell us, oh my God, what a big superstar.
You've got to wonder what the Sky's front office is thinking right now. Sure, the marketing team's still rolling out polished pics of Angel Reese rocking sky blue, but behind closed doors, you can bet the coaches are holding some tense late-night huddles asking, so do we need to rethink this starting five? Saturday might just be do or die for Reese. She needs a breakout performance, the kind that reminds everyone why she was the face of college basketball last year. Because if we're going off preseason form, Caitlin Clark isn't just ready to outshine her, she's on track to completely embarrass her. See, Clark has one thing Reese hasn't shown yet: consistency. Caitlin delivers every time she steps on the floor. Angel, lately she's delivering missed layups, some side-eye, and maybe a rebound or two, if Camila Cardoso decides to leave her one. But this isn't a warm-up anymore. The lights are up, the cameras are rolling, and Angel Reese better hope she knows her lines. Because Caitlin Clark, she's about to steal the spotlight and turn this whole thing into a one-woman show.
Season, can we know how you felt about your play out there? You're 2 for 8. Can we know how you feel about your new role, supposedly being a point forward? Ain't no damn point forward. A point forward is a person that actually create shots for others, easy buckets for others. That's what a point guard. Caitlin Clark don't just pass the ball down to Leah Boston and she turn around and make a layup and get an assist. She don't just get those kind of assists where she really didn't have nothing to do with getting Camila Cardoso or one of her players an easy basket. She not getting nobody no easy baskets. It's all off the execution of the play. Whether somebody cut back door and she make a good pass. She can make good passes, but a point forward is somebody who actually orchestrates the offense.
And if you thought Angel Reese's story couldn't get any more chaotic, just wait until Saturday's opening tip, because this isn't just any game. It's an audition, not for a shoe deal, not for Instagram fame, but for real, on-court legitimacy. And right now, Reese is stepping into that spotlight with a broken microphone, 2 flat notes, and the stage presence of someone who's just realized how much the spotlight stings when you haven't rehearsed. Meanwhile, Caitlin Clark is already the main attraction before even playing a single real game. She enters arenas like she owns the place, and honestly, she might as well. Her basketball IQ, off the charts. Her passes, precision guided missiles, her shot selection, a mix of calculated chaos that always somehow works. Even in the preseason, she was torching defenders like she was auditioning for the Harlem Globetrotters, but with a master's degree in making you look foolish. And the best part, she's doing it all with a grin, knowing full well she just made your favorite player look like a cone in traffic. Then there's Reese, whose defensive stance so far has been less lockdown and more, wait, where am I supposed to be again?
So I think it's time to finally, end the argument. End the argument that there is any sort of other needle mover that is even remotely close to Caitlin Clark in the WNBA. And again, the reason why we have got we've got Hailey Van Lith up is because it was Hailey Van Lith's return as well as Angel Reese's return. Angel was not the only person. They had 2 players returning. However, right now in Carver, there are no tickets left for under $200.
Let's talk about body language for a second. Angel Reese's in-game energy has shifted faster than a fast break. From confident queen to a confused rookie in record time. She's throwing side-eye at teammates, visibly gassed halfway through the second quarter, and generally vibing like someone who was forced into a pickup game they didn't want to play. Meanwhile, Camila Cardoso is casually snatching rebounds like they're gifts, turning putbacks into easy layups and looking like she's been playing in the WNBA for years. And you know it's bad when fans are already speculating about potential lineup changes, and the regular season hasn't even begun yet. The media, they're circling like sharks at an all-you-can-eat buffet. Miss one free throw on Saturday and it'll be breaking news. Angel Reese implodes. Sky coach considers starting the mascot. Okay, maybe not that dramatic, but you get the idea. Here's the thing about professional basketball. And it doesn't care how many followers you've got, how many NIL deals you've signed, or how many Bayou Barbie headlines you made in college. None of that matters once the game clock starts ticking. And Angel's starting to figure out the hard way that the WNBA isn't here to validate your brand. It's here to test if you can actually hoop with the big dogs.
I've tried to tell you guys, you've heard me say it on this channel. A lot of Angel Reese fans are not basketball fans, and they are proving it. They proved it last night without a shadow of a doubt. That was one of the most embarrassing things I've ever seen. You might be like, well, Rhodes, what was so embarrassing?
Let's be real. No one expected Angel Reese to be putting up 20 points a game right out of the gate, but no one expected her to be getting outplayed by her own teammate either. Camila Cardoso, the supposed second option, has quietly stepped up to become the most consistent frontcourt player on the roster. And we all know how it goes. You lose your spot in the starting lineup just like you lose your Wi-Fi. First it's slow, then it's gone in an instant. Reese needs a redemption story, and fast. Because Caitlin Clark, she doesn't just show up to play, she shows up to make a statement. And nothing makes a statement like roasting your biggest rival in front of a national audience in your first regular season game. If Clark drops 25 points while Reese puts up another 2-for-8 shooting night, gets into foul trouble, and spends more time shrugging at refs than scoring, the discourse will be brutal. Social media will explode. ESPN will have the highlight reel ready before the game even ends, complete with dramatic violin music and a side-by-side comparison graphic that'll make Reese wish she never left college. And don't forget, the fans are watching closely. This isn't just Caitlin versus Angel, it's the battle of hype versus substance. One player is already proving she can handle the spotlight and the skills to match. The other is still figuring out how to avoid fouling out before halftime.
Blink of an eye. People keep telling us there are other people in the WNBA who have made it matter. People keep telling us there are other players who are so very, very loved. There are other players who are so very, very marketable and marketed and watched and all that great stuff.
Let's not forget, Angel Reese is no stranger to pressure. She's played in championship games, faced the critics, and been the center of attention more times than she can count. But this isn't about the haters. This is about proving she belongs. It's about showing that her style, her attitude, and her presence can actually translate into wins at the professional level. Because if it doesn't, she risks becoming the cautionary tale, while Caitlin Clark steps in as the face of the league. Now, here's where things get really interesting. If Reese flounders against Clark, her entire rookie season could shift into damage control. What started as whispers will turn into heated debates, the debates into fiery hot takes, and those hot takes into trade rumors. Sure, it's early, but this is the WNBA. It's cutthroat, competitive, and rookies don't get endless opportunities, especially when your teammate is literally outplaying you and taking your spot right in front of your eyes.
Her fingers turn to can't even show up and buy ticket fingers. Angel Reese, going home to her alma mater, LSU, plays against the Brazilian national team in front of 6,373.
Saturday has to be Angel Reese's moment to shine. Not just a decent performance, not a well she tried effort. No, she needs a full-on reintroduction to the league. She has to prove she's not just a TikTok sensation from 2023, but a real force to be reckoned with. Because if she doesn't, Caitlin Clark will stroll into the game, casually drop 30 points, and walk out with the narrative that was supposed to be Reese's, neatly wrapped and ready to be archived. There's still time for Reese to turn it around. Time to channel her anger, ramp up her aggression, and get locked in. But the clock's ticking. If she's not careful, Caitlin Clark won't just steal the spotlight, she'll rewrite the entire storyline, leaving Angel stuck reading the script from the bench.